Yes, I know you don't think this is a good idea. Liz, what could happen? It's just a date. Yes, I'm aware I've never met him. That's kind of the whole point of Tinder. Not everyone on the app is a serial killer, Liz. I don't know. I think it was John. Well, names aren't that important. Okay, look, it's a first date, okay? I have no clue how it's gonna go. I mean, it could be bad. Yes, I've shared my location with you. But it also could be really good. Okay, I promise. If it goes downhill, I'll come straight back. Oh, I gotta go. Here he comes. Bye.
Hey, sorry I'm late. My workout went a little long.
Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, I'm Jill.
Jack.
Oh, funny. Like the nursery rhyme?
Oh, right. So, I guess you changed your hair recently.
My hair. Oh, right. My hair. Yeah, just thought I needed a change, you know. I guess I need to update my profile.
Oh, fuck, no. That's not what I... No, it looks great. I mean, I don't look like my picture either. That was back when football was still in season, and my abs definitely don't look like that anymore. Not to say they look bad. I mean, trust me, they're still there, and they look fucking awesome too.
I'm sure they do.
I still bench a lot. I mean, a lot. So don't worry.
Oh, I wasn't worrying. Anyways, you play football?
Yeah, linebacker.
Mm.
So, what about you? What do you do?
Oh, I'm a psych major.
That's cool. So, do you think I'm nuts?
Oh, well,
Oh, it's okay. I'm kidding.
oh.
But what I meant was like, what do you do in your free time?
Oh. Um, I mean,
Yeah, like when you're not doing school.
that's rare because I'm on honor society and all. I kind of have to study a lot.
Oh, cool.
But I mean, sometimes I go to frat parties with my friends.
Oh, I'm Sigma Chi. What sorority are you in?
Oh, I'm not that kind of girl, I guess.
Oh,
But I do enjoy the parties. I wish I could go more often.
why not? Oh, why don't you go more often?
Oh, well, I have to study, you know.
But you don't have to study all the time.
Yes, but I kind of do. It's the point of college, after all.
But it's not the whole point, and you can still relax and.
Well, not all of us can get by on an athletic scholarship, can we? Uh, uh I'm sorry.
No, you're
I was
off.
implying that, you know, I mean, I'm sure you care about school and have good grades and all of. Oh,
I mean, I can't. That athletic scholarship, after all, takes a lot of my time.
I'm sure.
I gotta ask, why did you agree to this?
What?
Why did you swipe right? Why did you agree to meet? You didn't have to respond, and it's clear as shit you don't like guys like me.
That's
So why?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm always one for taking opportunities when they come, and he seemed nice.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I enjoyed our texting, so I figured, why not?
Huh. So, so the abs had nothing to do with it?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said. Anyway, so what about you? Why'd you agree?
You were hot.
Oh, so the hair.
Still hot. I mean, it's hair, so I don't have a hair fetish or anything, don't worry. But you also seemed nice.
Funny. For two nice people, you would have thought this date would go a lot better than it is.
I mean, I'm not enjoying it.
Really?
Yeah, you talk to me like I'm real. Most people don't.
What do you mean?
Well, with football and all that, there's a lot of pressure to look a certain way, to just be a certain way, which isn't that big of a deal, I guess, but still, sometimes it fucking sucks.
Oh.
That's why I don't do so well, with school. Too busy trying to meet coaches' standards, and don't even get me started on my dad. Why'd you drop the ball? You know you could do better than that. Come on, don't be a bitch. It's like he expects me to be the greatest athlete who's ever lived when I'm obviously not. And oh fuck, I'm sorry.
Four?
You didn't ask for all that.
No, it's fine.
I mean, come on, Jack. It's a first date after all.
No, I get it. I love school and all, and I think psych is so interesting, but all the studying is exhausting. And it doesn't help that my parents are constantly breathing down my neck, even though I'm a fully grown adult. Who cares if I have a 3.8 instead of a 4.0? And it's not like I'm not trying. I mean, this has been the first non-academic thing I've done in a while, and still I feel absolutely worthless since I can't seem to escape all the,
Expectations.
yeah, the expectations.
And you have to act like you're fine with it. And maybe you're fine with it, but you're not because you don't meet the expectations.
You never can. I mean, you're not perfect after all.
And you feel like a shitty person and you start to lose your mind because of it, but still you.
Pretend.
Yeah.
Does everyone feel this way? Because that's messed up.
Yeah. Well, fuck pretending, I guess. It's nice, talking to someone.
Who doesn't expect much from you. That's the beauty of Tinder, I guess. Setting such impossible expectations that the only thing you expect from a date is to be catfished.
Well, if this is a catfish, I'm not throwing it back.
That was terrible.
What did you expect? So, Jill, what are you doing this Friday? Because there's a party, and you did say you wanted to go to more parties.
Oh, I wish, but I really have to study. You know what? Why not? Just don't expect too much from me.
Never.
The leaders say getting stung is part of it. They say over time it hurts less. I have autonomy over my body and soul, and yet somehow they think I choose pain because I didn't wear a suit. Because I wore my house clothes, not some sterile self-enclosure. Blame places guilt on you, yes. But it places responsibility as well. I'm responsible now. Accountable for my own pain. I'm my own villain, victim, nurse, caretaker, all in one. I'm the perpetrator. Violence, I was taught from a young age, is always self-inflicted. When I was 7, my uncle killed his wife. His defense simply was that it was what God wanted. His wife had no understanding of fidelity, and he brought it upon himself to punish her. I visited him in prison that year, age 7, brimming with righteous, indulgent anger, and I yelled at him in a pitchy, tactfully shrill yell that only a child can produce. How do you know what God wants? Because I've read his great thick book, he said. Because I've heard him and seen his fingerprints all over the earth. His words were so calm, but there was a tautness to them. I could hear in his throat the resurgence of anger that boiled beneath even his words and actions. That was the closest thing I've ever heard to God's voice. It told me, run. It's about perception. Even then at 7, I'd seen God's fingerprints, but I see them now more clearly. I've seen the blood-stamped foreheads of honest men who beg for survival. I've seen a dying man stab himself dead after praying himself to tears. Those fingerprints, I think, must be left by a vengeful hand. Find humor in how many are surprised I don't speak with the tongue of a woman. Speak with the heart of a woman, though. The virtuous one, once. I've taken up beekeeping. The bee is virtuous. Its virginity renders it something sacred. Glorified being elevates it to the status of a saint. The bee is always chaste, and always dies by its own hand. Those are the only 2 things that can be taken and never giving back. Chastity and life itself. And an absence of virtue may as well be death, so. I was stung in the beginning. They say I should have known how to guard myself. To wear the shields and masks, draping myself in white and obscuring any indication of my bodily form or mortality. Maybe then, if I was protected, if I wore the gloves and the smock and the suit, maybe then it wouldn't have been my fault. But I'll die wondering. There is a wind now that the future won't know. I'll rip it out of the world with me. This wind will snake through canyons, cracking and marring each smooth stone with such precision that in them will be carved a portrait of me. And then I will be glorified. When the earth takes the roots of my pain and lays them to dust, erecting a sky-piercing statue in my honor. Glory doesn't fall in straight lines. never falls flat on canvas. Glory falls on you only when you kill what seeks to kill you. Maybe I stumbled into her. Even sought out a world that never wanted me anyhow. A world that would do anything to draw blood. A world that would always blame me. And now, because I didn't wear the correct thing, or because my skin was exposed, or because I simply showed up, I somehow deserved the sting. That's what they say.
Let's just go. Okay, we can go anywhere. Let's go anywhere. Hold on, I take that back. This isn't time for indecisiveness. This is life or death. Meaning, if I stay any longer in this hick town, I will suffocate. Let's go to Paris. I can see it. Can't you? The tiny, winding streets, the smell of baking bread and pastries in the air, and tons of bookstores filled with all the books you could ever want. Then there's tourist traps, the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, Notre Dame. And we won't waste our time. Why stand in line trying to experience the city when we could go and experience it ourselves? Can't you see it? Us at some cafe table on a street corner, gulping down overpriced coffee. It won't be Starbucks. It'll be something Parisian. Summertime won't be humid. The air won't choke you. In Paris, everything is light and bright and open. You don't even mind the 2 million people because you'll probably never see the same face twice. Daisy, let's go. I can't stay here. I can't breathe here. Okay, this whole town is a fucking cliche, and everyone's a hypocrite. They go and sit in the pews with their noses just high enough, and then they go and do what? They sin. They sin and sin and sin and sin, and then they go and whisper about someone behind their back. Missy's husband is drinking again. She walked in with a bruise under her eye yesterday. I heard her husband left them last week. I hope that little boy doesn't end up like his father. I have to walk around with that marked on my chest. I will forever be Eddie Ray's son. I can't escape it. Unless we leave. It's you and me. Daisy, God, I love you. I've loved you since the day you stole my pencil in class. I love the way you smile. I love the way you laugh. I love the way you light up this blip on the map in the middle of nowhere. I know most people think I'm a slacker and I don't have the best family, but you see me. I would go anywhere with you. I would do anything for you. Hey, let's leave the bullshit and the fake niceties behind. Don't you want to see a sunset in Paris together? Let's just go. Are you coming?
There it
There
is.
it is.
Did you see
You
it?
see it? That old fence.
This is 6th Street 7-Eleven.
If you were here, I would say.
If you were here, I would say.
Do you remember?
I don't know what I would say.
You remember when I lifted you on my shoulders and swung you over the fence? And you laughed and pointed and laughed and I got all angry? I thought you were laughing at me because I was all sweaty and gross from picking you up. So I was saying, where the fuck do you get off? Because I look like this because of you, for you. For this dumbass picnic you really wanted to have because some stupid girl you like in a TV show did it once. So who do you think you're making fun of? And you...
Yes, I do. I would say, there's the 7-Eleven. Let's stop in for a drink. And you would say, with what money, Nina? And I would laugh at you and say, it's 88 fucking cents, Mr. Krabs. And you would say that calling someone Mr. Krabs for being cheap is the worst insult you've ever heard, and no one should ever say a SpongeBob character and the word fuck in the same sentence in their entire stupid life. And by the time you're finally done making fun of me, I'm laughing and laughing. And we're idling in the 7-Eleven parking lot. And you grab my hand. You would grab my hand and hold it right over your heart and do this big, dramatic, I give up sigh. And when you let go of my hand, I'd be holding $2. And I'd run out of the car, and you'd roll down the window and yell out after me, Diet Coke and Cherry Fanta. And I'd yell back, please. And you'd say, thank you.
And I'm acting like
Dick.
Anyway, you're bent over, laughing and wheezing, and you finally catch your breath and go, no, dude, look! And right in front of our faces, there's this huge hole in the beat up old chain link fence. And you're laughing because after all that, all we had to do was look around for like 2 seconds and notice the gaping fucking hole, and we could have saved ourselves a lot of trouble. And you know what? That is kind of funny. So I just start laughing too. And then I start crying. Because damn, even if you were laughing at me, who cares? You love me and love me so much. Even when I suck and act so mean to you for no reason. No reason except I hate myself. And I hate how I always seem like I hate you. But so I'm crying and saying I'm sorry. And you duck through the break in the fence back to the other side, to my side. And you kiss me hard. And then getting back over the fence doesn't seem so important. Then the most comfortable place in the world isn't the middle of the cheesy little gated meadow. It's with you. So we set down our picnic blanket right there in the gravel and share a soda from 7-Eleven.
Diet Coke and cherry
A
Fanta.
Diet Coke and cherry Fanta. And everything is perfect. And I love you. And you're mine. And you forgive me. I wish I could go back. I wish that was the last time you ever needed to forgive me. And everything was perfect. And I loved you how I should have. And we would spend the rest of our lives drinking from a bottomless soda from 7-Eleven.
I wish I would have known what a tool you are. I wish I would have listened to my mom, to my friends, to the logic I pride myself on but apparently don't possess, instead of just seeing your sweet little smile and trusting that everything would be okay. Because it wasn't. And it isn't. I don't know if it ever will be again. I wish. No, wishing doesn't get me anything. I'm glad everything happened the way that it did. I'm glad I know better now. I'm glad.
Wishing doesn't change anything.
But
But still,
I can feel you sitting next to me.
no matter what I do, it seems like you're always there.
I can feel your hand holding mine over your heart. I can feel it pounding faster
Watching
and faster.
me concerned and laughing. Laughing. Always laughing in my mind. Not at me. Not because of me. Because somehow I make you happy.
And it
I
scares
made
me.
you happy.
You scare me.
And I long for it. For you. And I reach out next to me
because I'm
because I hope
sure this time you'll be there.
It seems so real.
But it's not real.
For a moment, I think
And finally, I think I'm happy.
Hey! This party sucks, right? The people are just so superficial and shallow. The food sucks. The music's too loud. By the way, whoever has control of the Spotify right now has no taste. Me? I only came here for the drinks. Plus, there's no better place for underage drinking, am I right? And it helps me tolerate the people here. You know, why don't they lower the drinking age? I mean, everyone our age is already doing it. Why not just lower it? And before you say anything, no. I am not an alcoholic.
People love to ask me that for some reason. Am I not allowed to talk about drinking? It's drinking. Like I said before, everyone does it. It just makes me feel a little better is all. I mean, with all the shit going on in the world right now, who doesn't need a little cool down? Don't lie. I'm sure you've done it at some point. The stress gets to you. Your head starts pounding from anxiety. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this world. It's too crazy. Every time you turn on the news or the radio or go on the internet, it seems like another huge tragedy has happened. And every time that happens, I think, what was I doing when people were getting blown up halfway across the world? Was I making lunch? It's just too weird to think about. I find it best not to think about it at all. This is a good distraction. I just want the world to be better. I want people to be better. We grow up expecting this world we're growing up in to be some perfect place, but it isn't. It never has been, and it never will be. I used to hope that it could be, but I realized that hoping is stupid. The best you could do is just accept the reality and cope in whatever way you can. That's why everyone does it. You may like to think that everyone around you has it all together and you're like the only one who screwed up. But that's not true. We're all in the same boat. We're thrust into this messed up place expecting it to be perfect. And then reality hits. And then you spend the rest of your life figuring out what to do until you're dead. This is what I've figured out what to do. Have you figured out? What have you figured out? See? You can't answer my question. Looks like I have it more together than you.
Hello. It's been a while. I know I'm late, and this is long overdue, but better late than never. I missed you. And I know Breakup 101 Don't go back. Give each other space. Don't drive 3 hours to see them. But here I am. And, you know, our situation is different. We knew each other for so long, and you were such a major part of my life, and I just couldn't function moving on without this closure. As you know, we left a lot unsaid, and some things too said. We didn't part on good terms, and there were so many things and feelings that I wanted to say and voice, but I couldn't then. So I wrote them down. You used to tease me about my list, but well, actually that's one of the points on my list, so I'm going to talk a lot, so please bear with me. This is something that will help us both in the long run. After 4 years of friendship, 4 years of back and forthing, and 3 years of dating, you can see how I was a little blindsided when you took me on a drive to our spot at the beach to break up with me with no warning. And you know, insult to injury was that it was January and it was way too cold for me to storm out and walk home, so after the humiliation and heartbreak of everything we said in your car, we had to sit in silence for the drive back to my apartment. You had to pretend you didn't hear me crying. Do you know how much it hurt to be 2 feet away from you and have you so far away? I was right there, breaking apart, and you did nothing. Was everything between us just nothing after we broke up? The years we spent together, the road trips, the late nights, the grocery shopping, the dancing, the movies, studying, nothing? How can you justify spending over half of your life with a person and then just throw them away without a second thought? It was all nothing. I was nothing. And I never got to tell you how unfair that was. I mean, you aren't going anywhere now, so I guess you finally have to hear me out. You were a jerk. Screw you for making me care so deeply about you and then outgrowing me. Outgrowing me? Like I was a middle school emo phase or old clothing. How do you outgrow people and feelings? Because my feelings are kind of all over the place right now. And all I know is that I loved you with my entire being. Heart and soul. And you shattered me. I have never been hurt so badly. I should hate you. I do hate you. I want to hate you, but the truth is that I just can't untangle myself and my feelings from you that easily. You are woven so intricately into my life that I can't think back to any moments of joy or love anymore without thinking of you, and that sucks. Because that makes me want to not feel love ever again, just to be loveless for the rest of my life. But I can't imagine my life without you being a part of it. And I don't know. Maybe I could have changed things. Maybe if I had done something differently, this wouldn't have happened. If I had just done the dishes sooner or kept my hair out of the shower drain, maybe we would have fought less and delayed the boiling point until, I don't know, never? And remember when you broke your leg and I was taking care of you and you joked about how nice it was being nursed? Maybe I could have done that more. I could have made a few more home-cooked meals. I could have let you watch what you wanted. I could take such good care of you. You wouldn't believe it. I could be the 50s housewife with the apron and all. Anything you want. I could learn to like sushi, and who cares about allergies? We could have gotten a dog. I could have taken Allegra. I would have done anything to keep you with me. And I'm so mad that I didn't tell you that night. I'm so mad that I never told you, and I'm so mad that I'll never get to. God. If I had known that was the last time I was ever going to see you, I would have said so much. I wouldn't have slammed your card or said I hated you, because I really didn't. I loved you. I loved you so much it hurt. It hurt so badly. And I couldn't think of anything that would hurt more until I got that phone call. See, you broke my heart, you broke me, and then you took the pieces with you. So I couldn't put myself back together. And I want to hate you for that. I really do. I tried. But I don't. I never imagined my life without you. Even after we broke up, I always thought we'd find our way back together because that's what people who love each other do. They fight, and then they fight to stay together. They don't break your heart and then jump off of a pier and... I still can't go to that beach. I never went back. They said that pulling away and breaking off relationships, that's a sign. That's a sign of... They also said it wasn't my fault. There was nothing I could have done, but I just can't help but think that maybe if I had swallowed my pride and called you sooner, if I had made you talk to me that night, and instead of saying all the stupid things, I was so stupid. I couldn't go to the funeral. I just couldn't face it. And I know that makes me a wimp or whatever, but I just... There were so many things that I never got to say to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for letting you go. I'm sorry for thinking that you were breaking my heart when you were really crying for help. I'm sorry that I let you leave me that night. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you that I loved you. I know that this won't change anything. There's nothing I can do to change what happened. I have to accept that. I have to accept all the things we'll never do. We'll never make up. We'll never buy a house together. We'll never go grocery shopping again. We'll never drive to the beach and just watch the waves. I'll never get to see if you grow bald like your dad. I'll never get to watch you cooking in the kitchen. I'll never know if you forgave me. You'll never know that I forgave you. And that I still I want you to know that I'm doing better. I started going to work again. I cleaned the apartment. I'm seeing a therapist. Well, this was actually her idea, kind of. Acceptance is the last step. But I wasn't ready for that last step. I wasn't ready for that last step without you. Without closure. I wasn't ready to move on, plan for the future. I didn't think I could, but it doesn't matter if I could or not. I have to. You're not here. No amount of letters trying to rewrite the past will ever change that. Nothing I do will erase the words that we said in your car. Nothing I do now will bring you back. But this will bring me back. And I know that's what you would have wanted. So I guess that's all to say that I forgive you for breaking my heart, because I am remaking it so it is stronger. There will always be a little piece of it with you, but I have to move on. I have to let go of all of the feelings and the anger and the sadness. And I have to let go of you. And I hope that one day I can love this new me as much as I love you.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. I am not really good at these things.
Yeah, I'm just getting the hang of it all.
Well, it's good to finally meet you face to face, not just over email.
Yes, you too. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
Awesome. How have you been through all this?
You know, hanging in there, as I'm sure everyone else is. Trying to remain productive, but watching nothing but Netflix.
Same here.
Well, Charlotte, tell me about yourself.
Well, I graduated last year from Columbia College in Chicago. with a Bachelor of Arts in Photography. And in the last year, I've been working at Paramount Pictures in their advertising department as the assistant to the head of social media, which was an incredible learning opportunity, and I met so many great people. But I've always had a love for traveling and nature photography. And honestly, nature photography is one of the main platforms for education across the globe, sorry. Because without it, people wouldn't know about so many incredible things or cultures unless they live there or have been there themselves. And as you probably saw in my portfolio, I was able to travel to Brazil my senior year and photograph some extraordinary animals and people in the Amazon that people would normally see.
Yes, I did see that.
What? Sorry?
Yes, I did see that in your portfolio. It's very cool, but I don't think you understood my question. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my work is a big part of myself.
Yes, that's understandable, but tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm the oldest of three. I have a younger brother and sister. They're 20 and 18. My brother goes to the University of Indiana Southeast. He's an engineering major. And my sister is about to graduate from high school. So she's still back in Indiana. I'm from New Albany, Indiana. It was a pretty big deal when I got into Columbia because no one from New Albany ever leaves. They're all kind of stuck with the hype of the small town and the family life, all that. That wasn't ever me. When I was younger, like in middle and high school, me and my friends would ride our bikes down to the Bass Pro Shop, which I know sounds like, what? But we would go inside and look at the taxidermy animals and fish for like hours and then play this shooting game with our sock money. The coins we saved up are found and we hid them in our socks. So we'd take our sock money and basically blow it all on this 30 minutes to play the shooting game. It's honestly stupid to think back on it, but then that was the highlight of my life. That was what I looked forward to. It's what made me finish all my vegetables and be nice to my parents so I could go out with my friends and ride bikes and go to the Bass Pro Shop. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what I love to do. I didn't dream about kids or families like every other girl. I wanted to get away.
And what did your parents have to say to you having these feelings?
Oh, well, they were shocked at first, I guess, because they were like this perfect couple who were prom king and queen when they were in high school and like mayor and secretary of our neighborhood or whatever. And they just expected me to stay home with them and visit every weekend or whatever.
Were they really that perfect?
I mean, they had their brawls here and there, but they loved us and their town. I never noticed anything off.
What were their feelings about the Harkins?
Oh, they loved them. Donna and Harry were like second parents to us. Always over at the house, cracking jokes, sneaking us sodas. They were great.
Were you sad when Harry died?
Yeah, we all were. There was a huge processional and people lined the streets with signs and stuff. I mean, it was nice, but really sad.
So what are your thoughts on death?
What does this have to do with the internship?
Well, as you're searching for these hidden gems in the world, you might experience some unsightly things, and I need to know if you can handle it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the only people that have died around me are my two grandpas, but that was when I was 2 and 4, so I don't really remember it. Just a lot of crying from my parents. And, excuse me, sorry. And Harry, which, yes, was really sad, but we all moved on. We were able to be okay. I think I just had to accept that death will eventually happen to all of us.
What is your ideal way to die?
My ideal what? What kind of interview is this?
Just answer the question.
I guess in my sleep?
Come on, get creative.
Well, I've always had this fantasy of dying in a submarine. I'm on a rescue mission, and my colleague disappeared while trying to find.
The lost city of Atlantis.
Yeah. How'd you know?
Lucky guess.
Yes, the lost city of Atlantis. And when I'm down there, I encounter a sea monster that is green and probably 10 feet tall. And with large yellow teeth
eyes
that have
and slobbering
slobber
on them, even though you are in the
You're in
water.
the water, and eyes
That
that
can see into the parts of your soul, even you can't.
And you come across it in your submarine, desperate to get around it, but you freeze up.
You can't move.
And fear and wonder eat you up like a virus.
And all at once,
You let it devour you. How did you know that? I've never told anyone that.
I know all about you, Charlotte.
But we've never met. I barely know you at all. This is the weirdest interview I have ever.
You don't want to do that.
What's happening?
Shh. You'll be okay, Charlotte. I'm here with you. I've been with you all this time.
What do you mean?
I know you, Charlotte. I've known you. I know when you wake. I know when you dream, what you eat, all your deep desires, all your selfish desires. All the times you've abandoned your family, your responsibilities, all for your own benefit. All your sick thoughts, all of them. I know it all. And for that, you'll probably pay. Or not.
You're the monster.
Thank you.